Hey there, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. Hey guys, Rosie Cutter here, the Traveling Astrologer, and happy Mercury stationing direct today, June 3rd. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Feels much better. And I recently had a wonderful experience with my friend Dachin here. And so I thought maybe we do just a quick little video to talk about what you do and what you offer and why we both think and know that it can be beneficial to society. What do you think?
Sounds really good. Let's do it.
Yay. So tell me just a bit about yourself for the audience, what you do, where you live, etc.
So I am in Austin, Texas, and I am a therapist and a mindset coach with a background in nutritional therapies. What I'm doing now is I am using hypnotherapy, a form of hypnotherapy called rapid transformational hypnotherapy, and help them to get into a very receptive, relaxing, and healing brainwave state, which is basically alpha and delta. And when that happens, the critical factor of the mind takes the back seat, and it allows the subconscious mind to come forward to receive positive suggestions. Does that make sense, Rosie?
Totally. So I met Dachin because she is wonderfully into human design, as all fabulous people are. And we got a video reading. And so I got to connect with your energy. And obviously, when I do the readings, I ask people what they've got going on because we want to see how we can optimize your life and plans. And so I learned about her amazing skills as a healer. And at the time, I got to pull the leg a little bit. You were in a bit of a sabbatical and you're like big life transformations. And I remember saying to myself, and she was like, in your astrology, it shows you really being busy and working and in demand with the public and women. And at the time, we were like, okay. And so then we had our connection, which was really fun. And then afterwards, I was thinking hypnotherapy. I'd done it once in my 20s for past life regression for different reasons. And if anybody knows me, I am balls to the wall all the time. So having fun in social situations without taking it too far is definitely one of my Achilles heels. And so I thought to myself, hey, I'm going to reach out and see if maybe she'll work with me because your energy was so amazing. And so I asked you to do hypnotherapy with me, specifically around addictive tendencies. I'd like to be able to maybe enjoy a glass of wine or champagne without having to have 4 or 5. And so that can be also on many different levels of when knowing enough is enough. So I knew it wasn't just that. And so I came to you and we did a session, and that was maybe about 6 weeks ago now. The session was incredibly cathartic. I had childhood memories come up that I didn't even know. And as we all know, we're constantly being imprinted with subconscious messages, societal dictation as to what our values should be in our life, let alone imprints from being children. And like you explained to me, we're really such a sponge, especially before the age of 6. And I was able to also, fascinatingly enough, the way that you prompted me, it was like whatever just appeared. And those 3 scenes that appeared in my life, now that I'm out of it, created the perfect storyline as to why I feel the need to escape, especially when I'm around other people or desensitize myself. It was incredibly cathartic, like I said, like insane sweating, sobbing, which is really also fascinating because it's just coming out of such a deep place. And then we made a recording of certain prompts and about a 20-minute recording that I've been listening to since then. And it has changed my life. So since we talked, there was 1 or 2 times that I slipped up, and I ended up having stomach issues, was exactly why I don't want to drink too much. And so it prompted the reminder. And since then, I've gone out several times and been able to not have any alcohol at all, or enjoy 1 or 2 small glasses of wine, and that's it, which for me is huge because I have no off switch, And so it was incredibly therapeutic, and no amount of astrology, talk therapy, ayahuasca, whatever was going to unlock what you did. I mean, obviously, because it hadn't up until that point. And I feel freer and like a different person, as cliche as that sounds, and I love my recording. Your voice is incredibly hypnotic and therapeutic. And that's also why I wanted to do the video, to show people, because there is something too about your energy that is this kind of yummy, warm, relaxing embrace. And then since then, I've even had some friends do sessions with you, and literally powerful, amazing women that have had many, many, many years in the healing world, and you blew their mind and changed their life. So I think more now than ever in the astrology, if, as you know, we have very confusing transits happening in the world. Things are getting very magical, but people are also losing their grip on reality. And in my mind, what better time to reprogram yourself so that you're making sure that you're not being programmed by something that's actually really bad for you that you're totally unaware of. So you're taking new clients on now.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I want to respond to all of that you just shared. I was thinking about this today, and it's so true. We can be on our path. We could be on any level. We can be never heard of waking up or astrology or human design or anything. Or we could be really well on our path of knowing a lot of esoteric and metaphysical and quantum physics and human design and very relevant tools to help us on our path of awakening, and still have an obstacle, a blind spot, some kind of underlying mechanism that's running or driving our behavior in relationships, in how we respond to life, in our addictive habits and patterns, and especially with just the way we have all been imprinted or programmed or conditioned. Let's use conditioning because we're talking human design. Since birth, it is like we're always being told how we should be and who we should be. And so that's why I really love to weave together hypnotherapy and human design. So with the hypnotherapy, we can literally go back and, remember you told me you wanted to still be able to have one drink, so that the beauty of it is I can give you exactly what you want. And I'm listening to what each person is telling me. May have thought, oh, the right thing for Rosie is quit drinking altogether, but that is not what you asked for. So that's the beauty of it. It's like, really, I'm only just opening up that space, creating that space for you to see why, what, when, where, and how, and then make a choice. Yeah, I would like to change that out of my life. Yeah, I'm ready to let that go. And then I can put back in your words, what you want. But I can also take a look at your human design and see, what are you really here for? What is your purpose? What are your superpowers? What are your greatest gifts? So that we can, not just you, we can stop being what we are not here to be, and really step into who we are here to be joyfully in the midst of all this chaos and Rome is burning down, you know, it's like each one of us who's stepping into our fully embodied power is doing what we came here, what we're meant to do, is really doing our part to help make a difference on this planet at this time. So during this time with all this intense astrology, you know, this is the time I think a lot of us are coming up upon the real deep core issues, core wounds, whatever you want to call it. And that's where this is really helpful. Hypnotherapy, rapid transformational hypnotherapy, coaching if needed, nutritional orientation so that we can literally get grounded here and now in our bodies. Because this is where the magic is. And when we can be grounded in integrity, in our own systems, it's not all over the place. Right and left brain is functioning on a whole new level. We're connected to the planet, to Mother Earth. Her field is reinforcing ours when we're grounded. That's starting to trigger our own inner healing power. So that's what I'm interested in, is giving you a hand, a lift, a leg up, you know, through the
Slingshot.
what?
I would call it a slingshot because it was definitely rapid.
Yeah. Yeah, one undone. Many, many, many issues. You could be in therapy for years, and one session, 1 to 3 for even the deepest, most gnarly stuff, can really help you clear that out and change your story. Get on with it. Your magnificence.
You know, one of the things too I found in my experience with this was, even aside from, you know, the drinking or having to do everything so extreme, I loved the analogy you gave me about bringing my little girl around to show her the beautiful life that I've created now, and she gets to have it too, and integrate that. And also, and I think a lot of highly successful people are operating this way because often, like my teacher said, you know, if we felt great about ourselves, we'd never get out of bed in the morning. It's out of fear and insecurity and pain that we become talented and charming and want people to give us the approval our parents didn't. So, you know, there's this deep wounding and pain that very successful people I find have. But I feel like, and I also have indirect in human design. So there's already a part of me that's somewhere else always. But I feel like I wasn't in my body as much. Like one piece was here, and then the other piece was over here because it couldn't quite trust and was still like the bunnies, like a prey animal. They're nervous at everything. Yeah. And when we did the session, and I think because of the release was so intense and, you know, sweating, I mean, it's definitely things that were trapped in my nervous system. I feel more than I probably ever have in my life. Like I'm actually here in my body with this great life that I've created, which many successful, awesome people I know have created these great lives, but out of the hurry and the stress and the climbing and the living their dharma and destiny, they are right over here and they're not in the magic like you're talking about. Like this is the now is all there is. And so I think that has to kind of happen on a subconscious level. And I think that people can go to shamans and psychedelics and that can crack the thing open. But I even wonder with things like that, if you had something like the recording to fill you back up with a new positive thing, if people would have a better, more closure in their experience. You might not be getting what you need if you have to do it all the time, right? You know, there should be, but people go through these big spiritual breakthroughs and they release all this stuff, but then they don't have anything to plug back into it. And that's the difference of what you're doing and listening to the recording and setting the new intentions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What you are, all of that, what you just brought up is is super important. You know, we start out a little bit fragmented. You're talking about integrating all of these parts, and we're talking there's so much more to us than we are ever taught to know. But we have left little parts of ourself in shock or in some kind of, I guess fragmented is the best word for it. And we really do want to bring everything into the present moment, all of our, even if it's our past lives, even if it's ancestral stuff, it is all contained, but it's in this lifetime that we can really shift everything. And so in some systems it's called parts work, but and also medicine work and everything else, it can leave you even more fragmented. And so this is really about going in and collecting all the parts. Many times it is about reparenting the inner child. And that's one of the things that makes it such a rapid, and when you have that emotional release, those are feelings that were never felt, because we are powerless as children. A lot of the time we can never talk back to our parents and or the adults or anybody we are dependent on them. And so, we've been holding in some of those feelings, our energies we've been holding in our somatic body, it could be for decades. So finally, that release is the best thing ever. That moment of release, feeling those feelings that need to be felt, that can be the catalyst for full spectrum healing, physical issues, and it does lay a foundation for getting on with your life in the best way.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was so powerful. Yeah. So, I just thought Mercury direct, lots of people have been showing interest, and what better way than for them to feel your aura and hear your resonance, and they can find you and contact you how?
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at I am harmonic perfection. And you can DM me, and you can link to my website there, which is www.harmonicperfection.com. And you can reach out to me informally or through my website. And I can't wait to hear from you.
Yay. And you were recently on our wonderful friend Michelle's podcast, You Lost Me at Namaste. And ironically enough, what a small world. I was just on the phone with one of my friends in crimes, Kristen, and she heard you on that podcast and was already telling me about you. And I was like, well, I'm the one that connected that. And then I'm going to be talking to her right now. So it's a bubbling. And that's how it works. Everybody has their specific fractal, and there's more than enough love and healing to go around for everyone. But I feel like this tool that you offer gives people permission to be in the moment again. And I think that that's one of the greatest gifts. And everything in the life in the world is kind of trying to push us out of our bodies and out of the moment, but it is the most juiciest place to be.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for everything. And we'll have to get you up here to Aspen and get you out of that heat sometime. And then you can see people up here.
Can't wait for that.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for your healing and your time. And I hope that more and more people can benefit from your gift.
Thank you, Rosie.
Yay. Okay. Oh, look, the bunnies came.